Just kidding. Today we are talking about the R sound. We're going to practice making the sound in isolation, and then we're going to try some words. To say R, we have two parts. Let's start with the first part, which is just ah. So how do we say ah? You keep your tongue relaxed in your mouth, and you just open your mouth. Ah. I'll give you a closer look into my mouth. Ah. Now you try it. The second part is the hard part. It's the sound. Your tongue is going to be high in the back of your mouth, and it's going to be very tight. So high, back, and tight. We want the sides of your tongue in the very back to touch your top back molars. And just like when we use a muscle in our arm, your tongue should feel a little bit tired when we're done. The tongue is the largest muscle in the body, and if you're making it tight against those teeth, it should get a little sore too. So let's try getting our tongue up, back, and tight. I'm going to give you a close-up of my mouth so you can see where my tongue is. Now you try it a few times. Now we're going to add the two sounds together, but still keep them two separate sounds. Remember, the first one is ah, and the second is Tongue down and relaxed, and then up, back, and tight. Ah, 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 Try that a few more times. Okay, let's try to glide those two sounds together so it's just one sound. Okay, ready? Let's start relaxed and down. R. R. Let's do it again. R. R. If you're having a little bit of trouble, try it without sound. Just focus on the movements of your tongue. Okay, let's try adding that sound back in now. Do it with me. R. 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 Now you do it a few times by yourself. Okay, we're going to move on to some words. If you're not ready, go back and keep doing the sound some more until you are. We're just going to add one sound to the end of R. Let's try arc. Arc. This is a good one to start with because the K sound is also made in the back of our throat. So we pull that tongue back for the R, and we kind of leave it back there for K. Arc. Arc. You try it a few times by yourself. The next one we're going to try is arm. The sound at the end. Your tongue is back down. So let's give this a try. Arm. Arm. You try that one a few times. Is it easier or harder? It's probably a little bit harder. Let's do one more with just one sound after the R. Art. Now for this one, the T, the tongue taps on the tip right behind your teeth. And when we're doing the R, your tongue tip is down and your tongue is pulled back in your mouth. So the tongue has a lot of work to do here. Art. 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 Try that one a few times. Okay, here are some harder words that have multiple sounds after the R. Just give them a try, they might be tricky. Artichoke. I'll do it again. Artichoke. Now you try it. Armadillo. Armadillo. Let's try article. Article. Next is army. Army. Good job. Now, let's add a sound to the beginning before the R. So, our tongue is going to be in a different part of our mouth when we have to start the R sound. So we're going to make that first sound, and then we're going to get our tongue back to that relaxed position, ready to pull back for the Okay, let's try far. Okay, get ready for the F. Far. That one's not too bad. Try it again. Far. Okay, let's try jar. 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 Try that one by yourself. Okay, the next one is going to be a little tricky because it starts with the K sound in the back of our mouth, and then we have to drop that tongue back down again. Car. Car. Tongue gets a lot of workout on that one. Car. But when you say ah, you could have your tongue in the back of your mouth and just keep it the K. As long as your ah comes out the right sound, you might be able to just leave your tongue back there. Car. Car. It has to move a little bit to pull back into that sound, or it won't sound like the The R, it has to hear those two sounds, so there needs to be some movement. The next one is par. 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 Okay, let's try bar. Just like par, we're just adding our voice. Bar. Bar. Okay, and the last one is tar. Gotta tap that tongue, then relax it and pull it back. Tar. 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 Good job. If you're feeling ready, we're going to add sounds at the beginning and the end of R so that our R is right in the middle. If you're not ready, go back and try the initial position and the final position again. The first word is hard. Hard. Next, shark. Shark. dart, dart. Are you trying these? How are you doing? Charge, charge. Next is park, park. For these next 6, I'm going to do them a little bit faster. Some of my students have an easier time saying them faster than they do slowly. Yard, yard. Next, bark, bark. Cart, cart. How are you doing so far? March, march. Large, large. And last one, card, card. Nice job. It's very important that your tongue is in just the right place when you make the R sound, because your word could sound like a completely different word. Let's take the word card, for example. If your tongue is not high, back, and tight when you say R, it's going to sound like cod, cod, versus card. Do you hear the difference in mine? You say both words and see if you can hear the difference too. I hope you can. We'll see you next time.